Hello, Gemini. Great to have you here. My name is Shauna. Today's reading is a general love forecast for November 2025. As always, take the messages that resonate and release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way, Gemini. So one of the messages that I'm getting for you is be very careful about the people you date. Especially if they have been telling you that, oh, I'm newly divorced or I'm separated but not yet divorced. If they've got some type of like long-standing relationship baggage that they're trying to get over and they tell you that they're over it, I want you to just be a little bit careful because I do feel that the people that you meet, they're not bad people. It's just, they're trying to convince themselves that they're over a certain ex or a certain situation in their lives when, and they feel like by saying it, it allows them to come to terms with it when in fact, I don't feel that they're ready just yet. Okay, so just be very careful about that situation. I feel that you want to get the whole story, okay? Ask important questions, get the whole story before you jump to, before you push the relationships to the next level, is what I'm sensing. And I don't know why all the court cards have been showing up for every single sign. A lot of court cards are coming out for every single sign. And it just means a lot of people are in the mix. So I'm going to pull that one out as well. Yeah, so just be very careful about people who say, they're either separated or divorced, or they're like, they had a 10, 15-year relationship with an ex. They just got out of it and they're telling you, yes, I'm ready to date. You might want to be a little bit more skeptical and, ask important questions, okay? So first off, one of the things that I'm sensing here is that, there is going to be new love coming through for you. And I do feel that the new love is not going to be smooth sailing. And I want you to just be very careful because the people around you, I feel like they're dealing with past baggage that they haven't gotten over yet, okay? And as a result of it, you are also in a situation where you might have past baggage that you're not completely over yet. And you want to find love. And we all do, especially when we are just gotten out of a situation and we feel like we want to restore ourselves. We want to a distraction. So we go out and we want to flirt and we want to, make connections with another person. But when we're not whole yet, the relationship can be very problematic and it can breed a lot of, it can bring up a lot of past emotional baggage or also a lot of past distrust. So it's overall, it's a confusing energy when people are not done with one thing and they want to jump into another. So I feel like that's what's happening in your love life right now. So let's go over this spread here. In the past position, we have the Queen of Swords. And this is your energy that you're bringing onto the table. The Queen of Swords is, when it's in the reverse position, it means being ruled by your heart rather than your head. And it's not a bad thing, but in situations where we fall head over heels in love with somebody, I feel that you might not be discriminate enough. You might rush things along a little bit too fast, even though there are red flags. So this is pretty much about, paying attention to those red flags, asking those important questions. And this is also about, denial. When those red flags show up and we like the other person too much, we might not ask those questions. We might sweep them under the rug, hoping that they'll go away, or hoping that, the right time will come in the future where you can address these things. So it's really important from the very start of a relationship that you ask those questions and that you don't overlook those red flags, okay? What's bringing you to the present situation here? I do have a lot of flirtation coming through, a lot of flirtation, and I do feel that I feel that you're potentially flirting with somebody who might have somebody else, because already I feel we have three queens in the picture. Three queens. One of them is you, and the other two queens are different signs, but I feel like you might be interested in. You might be coaxing somebody, or you might be flirting with somebody who might have other people in the picture, okay? It's a slippery slope. Be very careful. And that is what I mean by, if you're seeing somebody who said that, oh, I'm separated, but I'm not divorced, well, I feel that there is potential for the ex to come through. And additionally, if you're dating somebody and you yourself have some type of um, ex that is lingering around, you might want to be careful as well. So the flirtation is coming through with the Strength card, and the Strength card in this image, it's sort of like the woman is coaxing the beast. So this is basically following our animalistic instincts, and it's also getting ourselves into a precarious situation because we like the excitement, we like the thrill of the chase, we like the clandestine nature of this situation. So it is a sticky situation that you're getting yourself into, okay? What's crossing it here is the Queen of Coins. And the Queen of Coins, potentially another person, Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. In this situation, I do feel that I'm reading it as an energy. So you might be flirting with somebody, potentially an earth sign, So this is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Male or female, it wouldn't matter. But I do feel you are potentially, there is somebody like that in your midst, okay? Because that's the crossing energy. If you are not flirting with this person might be flirting with you. And you really need to find out their relationship status, okay? And it's really important for you to figure out where they're at and what's going on with them first before you reciprocate, because I feel like they're attached. I feel like I have such a lot of cards here that indicate they might have other lingering attachments, okay? Or you yourself might have lingering attachments, because 3 queens don't bode well for a relationship. Now, what's crowning this reading here is the 7 of Coins. And the 7 of Coins is a situation that we have invested a great deal of time in, and we're waiting for the harvest. So I feel like this is an ongoing flirtation. It has been months, weeks in the works, and both parties are kind of like skirting the issue, and they're not really talking about it, and no one is really making a move. And I'm going to say once again, if the other person is not making a move, it's because they enjoy the flirtation and they're already attached to somebody. That's why they're not making a move. And likewise, I feel the same is coming in from your end, okay? So tread very, very carefully, Geminis. In terms of work situations, I do feel financially things are really very, very stable for you. I do feel for a lot of you, you might be in a situation where you are collaborating with other people, and everyone has their own ideas. And I feel that you're being very smart about this, and you're kind of rather than voicing your ideas, I feel like you're being very strategic, and you're telling, like, for example, if you're working with like 3 people and you're keeping your ideas close to your chest, and the other people are telling you, you should do this, you should do that, and you're trying to get the best of both worlds and trying to incorporate them to make your idea stand out. So I feel like it's a very, very good collaborative process that's happening here if it's work related. In terms of the foundation, we have the 10 of Wands, which is a lot of work, a lot of responsibilities, obligations that are being that are like left on your plate. And I do feel the financial situation is basically on the forefront on your radar right now, and that's one of the main things that you're dealing with. And there might be flirtation in the work environment, okay? There might be flirtation just at work. And as a result of it, I feel like you're spending more time at work. You're working very hard for your money. There's a lot that needs to be done. So office romances, attraction, and things like that, naturally that's going to happen if you're spending a lot of time with your colleagues and your coworkers. So I feel like that's what's happening here. And I feel that you're trying to be very professional about it. And the work situation is one of the major obstacles to getting this relationship off the ground. So I feel that work, like mixing business and pleasure. I feel that's what's happening here for a lot of you Geminis. In terms of what's coming in, we do have the Queen of Wands, which is a very authoritative person coming into the mix, okay? This is somebody who is potentially a little bit bossy. And I do feel that she or he has very good intention, and it's a fire sign. It's a fire energy. It's a very dynamic energy. He or she usually is a go-getter. So Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, somebody who is very authoritative, very supportive. But I do feel that they do want you, if it's an authority figure, they do want you to do it their way. So if it's an authority figure, you're just going to have to bite your tongue and, do whatever, however they want it. And I feel that they might want you to, so for example, if you finish a project and you feel like you did it really well, they might want to make some changes. So as a result, they're piling on more work for you. You might become a little bit resentful. But I do feel that they want it done a specific way. So if you're dealing with somebody like that, who is a fire sign, that is a supervisor, it is really important to get all, like very clear, be very clear about what they want so that you don't have to go back to the drawing board to do it in a way to fix things because, it wasn't done to their specifications the first time. So that's where I feel like this workload is coming through. It's coming through from an authority figure who potentially wants things a very specific way. And they might not be very clear when they explain it. So it's in your best interest to ask questions, okay? And get it done right the first time. Get it done right the first time. In terms of what's coming through for you, we do have the Seven of Cups. This is a lot of opportunities and a lot of attraction, a lot of choices, options opening up for you in love and in finances. Your financial situation in terms of work, a lot of them are coming through for you. And I do feel that it is really important for you in the work front to, if you're not happy with the work situation, if you feel like you've been bullied at work, there are going to be other work opportunities coming through for you. If you are staying at work because of, I feel like if you're staying in a work environment because you feel like you don't like the boss, but you really enjoy working with your coworkers, I do sense that either way you have new opportunities coming through and you can decide what you want to do. But I do feel that it is really important for you to find something that you're passionate about, okay? Never mind the coworkers or the boss. Find the job that you want to do, that you're good at, that you feel that that you feel proud of. That's the thing. If you're stuck at a job where you feel miserable, but you're stuck there because of the financial gains, it's not going to pan out in the long run, and you're not going to be happy just with the financial gains. Find something that you're good at. And I mentioned this, I believe, last month as well. You have new jobs coming through for you, Gemini. So a lot of you might have been worried about finances. Things are going to pick up for you. They're right around the corner. It's really important to pursue the things that we love, and the money will follow. Okay, that is pretty much the mantra in life. Do something that is true to you, that is authentically yours, that you have emotional investment in. And because of it, you will do it well. And because you do it well, you will get recognition for it, okay? It's really important to just stick to it. Find what you love and the money will follow. In terms of your external environments, we do have the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands indicates potentially looking for a new house. It also indicates new projects, new work environment. And it's not a Pentacles card, but it indicates new opportunities that are outside of your geographical location, okay? With the Ace of Wands, in the traditional Rider-Waite, it means traveling. It means traveling a little bit further in order to run across the opportunities that you need to make your life the way that you want. So all the aces are basically gifts from God, gifts from the universe. When it's in the reverse, you have to fight a little bit harder in order to attain it. You also have to, it's there for the taking, but you have to step out of your comfort zone in order to seek it, okay? A lot of the times I see Ace of Wands as a movement, like looking for a property, especially if you're thinking about getting a house or something like that. I feel that for those of you who are thinking about a new place to live and things like that, I do feel that home, waiting for the perfect relationship partner, the perfect job, the perfect house, the perfect career opportunity is not going to work this time. You really have to step out of your comfort zone a little bit, okay? So going back to what I said last month, act on it. Don't be complacent. Don't wait too long. Just act on it. So I feel a lot of you are potentially picking up the pieces and moving on, picking up the pieces of your life, realizing that there are a lot of opportunities out there and you're moving forward. Now, in terms of your hopes and fears, we do have the devil. And the devil indicates either one, financial worries, exes, old relationship partners, unhealthy habits that are keeping us very bound, very afraid about taking that next leap of faith to move our lives in the direction that we want. So a lot of you are afraid to physically break out of your shell, are afraid of going about life your own way. Now, Gemini is a sign of duality, and it's represented by the twins. And a lot of you, you need another person, not because you're afraid to be alone in the dark or anything like that, but you really need another person to bounce ideas off of, and you feel strength in numbers. Pisces and Geminis are very similar in that regard, okay? And I'm going to say this, that this is, I've been seeing this for quite some time. A lot of Geminis tend to jump from one relationship to the next, okay? And you feel that sense of, security and safety in numbers. And it's really important for you, if you have a habit of doing that, really branch out and be on your own. Because the things that we fear are the things that we need to confront, are the things that we need to embrace. If you've been fearful about financial difficulties, you really have to find ways to stabilize it. If you've been fearful about being alone is actually something that you need to do in order for you to be alone with your thoughts, in order for you to figure things out on your own, okay? So I definitely feel that you might be using love, people as a distraction. If there is something that is innately, if you're dissatisfied with something in your life, sort that out. And don't rely on other things in your life to be a distraction for you, okay? And I hope that resonates with you, because I don't know how else to say that, but I feel like almost a sense of like distraction, being at work, feeling miserable at work, and then using, flirting with coworkers and things like that as a distraction, as a way to justify that, oh, the work is actually okay, I'm not 100% happy with it, but I like my coworkers. Well, you're working for yourself, and you should do things that stirs your passion. If the work is not satisfying, move on to a different job, okay? So that's what I'm sensing. Get to the root of the problem and figure out what distractions, okay? Well, the good news here is I do feel we do have situations that will allow you to basically get to the root of the problem. We do have the Five of coins here. This is the Five of Pentacles. And this card indicates financial hardships. It indicates being in a place of darkness and not having the answers. In this deck, it is actually a very, very good card. And it's basically a situation where you're kind of sitting back and you're spending time on your own. And you're in a dark place. And you're sorting through your options. Okay? And you're starting to realize that you actually have a lot of options. That as soon as you step out of that cave, there are many, many routes, avenues that you can pursue. So things are not bad at all. And it's just because you're in the cave where you're looking at all your options and you're not really taking that first step, that you feel as if it's overwhelming. So it's kind of like the choices are there, but you're refusing to budge, okay? So I'm going to say that it's a very, very good place to be, mainly because at least you're looking at your options, you're writing down a list, you're thinking about the next steps that you want to take, and you're thinking logically, where you're thinking about the pros and cons, okay? Now, what is coming in as well? We do have the Eight of Cups in the reverse position. The Eight of Cups in this deck, it is about sailing over your troubles and your worries, sailing away to a safer environment. When it's in the reverse, there is also the tendency to revert back to things that haven't been healthy, that have been keeping us very bound and stuck in one place, okay? This is also dealing with the process of elimination, okay? So you might have, like, for example, 5 or 7 options on the table as to where you can go, as to what kinds of jobs that you're good at, that you can potentially do, and you're crossing them off one by one. If you are doing that, then eventually you are going to come across something that you absolutely love and that you are just, really, really ecstatic about doing. So I definitely feel that something is going to break through for you that will allow you to move on. We also have the Justice card as well. For a lot of you, there might be a relationship where I feel that you're either seeing somebody who is, in a relationship, or you yourself are in a relationship and you're interested in someone. Both of these scenarios, I do feel that some type of relationship is going to an end with the Justice card. Some type of work environment that has been overbearing is also going to end, okay? Some type of partnership is ending, some type of relationship is ending as well. What I'm also getting is, for a lot of you, there is going to be new love in store for you with the Ace of Cups. So this is not only, I feel that, first of all, both of these cards indicate to me that self-love is going to happen, where you are starting to really balance out your life. You're thinking long term into the future, and a lot of you are going to get new love. But I'm going to warn you here that we can't make new love successful until we overcome our sense of inadequacies with whatever it is, our complexes, or, or beliefs in ourselves. So you have to restore that first before the love will come into the picture for you. I feel that for a lot of you, um, if you are interested in somebody and there's a lot of flirtation, but the other person is not doing anything, once again, it's because they might be in a relationship and they might just like the thrill of the flirtation. Okay, that's just what they do. They just like to flirt and they don't mean any harm because they're in a relationship. So you want to be very careful about that, okay, about people's intentions. Secondly, I feel as if, for those of you who are dating an earth sign, who are interested, I feel like there might be a third party, okay? Earth signs are Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And for those of you who are dating fire signs, likewise, I do feel like a little bit of a lack of commitment for those of you dating fire signs. So Sagittarius, Aries, and Leos. For those of you who are in a relationship, I do feel that this is the month in which you might be tempted by a new partner. You might be tempted by someone in your environment, and they might want to take things to the next level, and you want to be careful about how you approach this relationship if you're already in a relationship.